Jai Gurudev, everyone. Jai Gurudev. When I came in and I saw Swami Tulsidas, he asked me, what do you think of all of this? And it's at times like this you have to go through the English Thesaurus Dictionary and find different synonyms for epic, colossal, immense, momentous. There are too many, you run out of words after a while when you enter into this scene and you see Nrsimhadev as he is. I can imagine this will be an iconic temple of Bhakti Marga of Guruji. And I can imagine maybe a couple who wants children saying, I will walk on barefoot from New York to Elmira to see Nrsimhadev if I have my firstborn. You know, I can imagine this kind of scenario with this kind of temple, with this deity. This is an unbelievable achievement on behalf of the American Sangha, on behalf of Swami Tulsidas, Swami Chidananda as well. And I'm in awe and in gratitude to be here for this event, for this inauguration. I've been a little bit like an investigative journalist over the last couple of days, because I've been asking Swami Chidananda, Swami Tulsidas, Nanda, and even Ananda Kishori, what is the formula for your success? What is the formula for your success? How has this all happened in the way that it has happened? You saw the slideshow yesterday, most of you, at the dinner. Amazing process of what's happened. And they all kind of echoed the same thing. You have to win the heart of Guruji. You have to win the heart of Guruji. You have to win the heart of Nrsimhadev. Only then does something like this manifest. The problem we always do, the way we have the cart before the horse, we try and worry about finances, we worry about meetings, we have endless Zoom meetings, we worry about logistics of construction and all kinds of stuff, the nuts and bolts of how it all fits together. We worry about everything apart from winning the heart of Guruji. And what I learned from talking to these three is that Swami Tulsidas put it very aptly. He said, happiness in prayer. The devotees, the brahmacharis, are happy to go to prayers. They don't want it to end. Even if there's construction work to do and people will come and judge, oh my God, they haven't done this yet. Their priority is to win the heart of Nrsimhadev, to win the heart of Guruji. Because without that, you end up creating a corporate company but not a fortress of grace that holds Guru Bhakti. Bhakti Marga is not a corporate company. It's not. It is a fortress of grace to hold Guruji. And if we don't put prayer first, if we don't put him first, if we don't attempt to win the heart of Guruji, then we miss the whole point of what we're doing here. If you have a practical problem, there is a spiritual solution. If you go outside this world, practical problems demand practical solutions. In this world, with Bhakti Marga, with Guruji, practical problems demand spiritual solutions. It means we cry to Nrsimhadev, we cry at the feet of Guruji, and we ask for a solution. And then the practicality happens. Yes, there will be challenges. Yes, there will be stress. But the right people who can handle that stress and those challenges will be brought into the fray. They'll be brought into the position they're meant to be to do their dharma, which is handle the stress and deal with the problems. Because Nrsimhadev and Guruji are making it all happen. We have to understand Bhakti Marga is a fortress of grace. Prayer and winning the heart of Guruji is the only thing that matters. That is the flame that solves all other problems. And if we want to serve Guruji properly, we must bear this formula in mind. And the American Sangha, headed by Swami Tulsidas, in my opinion, have beautifully demonstrated that. Beautifully demonstrated that. To bring Paranitya Narasimha here like this. Now, I haven't had all the amazing experiences that Swami Tulsidas has had with Paranitya Narasimha, but there was one incident that struck in my mind where Guruji mentioned something. We were sitting there in Germany, and Guruji said to me, bring your deity. And this was the deity Guruji had manifested for me some years before. So I ran down to my room, I got my deity, hurried back up to Guruji's residence, placed him on the table, and then everyone was looking at him, Padmanabha Swami, lying down on the Adishesh with Mahalakshmi there and Brahma. And everyone's looking at this deity. Then Guruji asked some other Prabhus to bring their deities that he'd manifested. So they came one by one, several deities, all kind of nicely arranged on the table. And we're all taking photos of this very historic moment. It was like a Murti showroom, like kind of all of Guruji's glory just manifested on this table. And then someone was looking at all the deities and they said, but, Paranitya Narasimha's not here. And as soon as that person said that, Guruji's face changed. He went, Paranitya Narasimha, like that. And he said, that is me without any covering. And I remember that statement. That there is something about, there is the Rupa of Guruji that we all see. Whether you're a devotee or not, whether you're a person on the street, we all see the Rupa of Guruji. But within the Rupa of Guruji, there is a Swaroopa. That is beyond the understanding of the mind, beyond the understanding of the senses, the logic and everything else. That we need a longing divine vision to be able to perceive that. The Swaroopa of Guruji. That lies hidden somewhere else. And the thing we have to understand is, this Swaroopa, I often say this, but I want to say it again. We should not take it cheaply. We should not take it cheaply. One time there was this person who'd known Guruji maybe about 3-4 months, and he came to me and he said, you know what, Mayuran? I know who Guruji is. I know what he's really hiding. I didn't really say anything. He said, he's this, he's that deity, he's this deity. I know who he truly is. And on and on and on he went. And I listened, didn't say a word. And he was kind of a little bit wanting me to say something. So he said, Mayuran, why don't you say something? What do you think of my revelation? And I said to him, in my experience, the people who say this, as you've just said it, end up leaving Guruji very quickly. That wasn't the answer he wanted to hear. But it was the honest answer I gave. And as it happened, a few months later, he went on a different path, he was off. My point is, when we try and conquer the Swaroopa of Guruji with our mind, with our so-called understanding, with our ungroundedness, we miss Guruji completely. It is only the eyes of longing and tears that can give us access to the Swaroopa of Guruji. Absolute sacrifice, commitment, dedication in service, and tears that give us access to the Swaroopa of Guruji. I am longing for the Swaroopa of Guruji to come out of that pillar. You know why? Because it is life at last. It is like breathing. I don't feel like I'm breathing right now. I want the Swaroopa of Guruji to manifest itself. Guruji was talking about Bilva Mangala in the Bhakti talks before, how he blinded himself out of disgust for his own vices. And then a boy starts serving him food and everything else. And then he realizes who this person is. And he grabs this little boy and says, reveal yourself to me. I feel like we're all in that situation. We have Guruji guiding us, giving us everything. But do we have the longing and to say to Guruji, reveal yourself to me. Reveal yourself to me. Guruji was telling the story of Saratamali earlier, and how the Swaroopa Vittal had found his way into his heart, but you can smell the Tulsi everywhere. We can smell the Tulsi everywhere. Guruji's here. But I'm desperate for that Swaroopa to come forth. Because then I can breathe. Then I have Guruji. Because until that Swaroopa manifests, Everything we do or say to Guruji is somehow stained. It's stained somehow. We can say, I love you, Guruji. Guruji said once, when somebody says, I love you, he says, I don't even hear it. I don't even hear it. He's heard it so many times, I love you, Guruji. But it's not pure. Somebody once said to Guruji, I have implicit faith in you, Guruji. And the Guruji said to that person, if you had implicit faith, you would have been somewhere else by now. We make the statements, we're so good at it. And that's the aching heart we should have. When can I be pure? When can I have Guruji completely? When can I have his Swaroopa? That should be the thing that is ticking in our head all the time. But as I say these words, I'm acutely aware of my utter hypocrisy in saying these words. Because when Guruji is talking the Bhakti talks, he said, if the love of God, if Bhagavan came to you now, you'd all just run away. You would all just run away. Who can handle him? There's this one Christian theologian, C.S. Lewis, one of my favorite quotes. He says, do people really understand what they're doing when they ask God for himself? It is like asking the director to come on the stage of the play. When the director comes on the stage of the play is over. It's over. Imagine you're acting in a play, because let's face it, we're all acting in some way. We're on the stage acting our part, and then suddenly the director walks on and goes, hello. Suddenly we can't act anymore. The play is over. The drama is over. And who is ready for that? I and mine, your desires, your aspirations, your comfort zone, all of that is over when the Swaroopa manifests. Who is ready for that? Am I ready for that? I don't think so. But yet, I am aching for that Swaroopa. What do I do? What do I do? You know, in Namalva, he's one of the 12 Vaishnava saints, to 12 Alva saints. He says very beautifully, when Nrsingadev comes out of the pillar, he has red eyes. And then he says, Hiranyakashipu looks at the red eyes and thinks, oh my God, they are redness of rage, pitted against me. Whereas Prahlad looks at the red eyes and thinks, wow, what mercy, what warming mercy the Lord has. We're doing the same thing with Guruji. We are terrified of him because of what he holds and what he stands for. But yet we are aching for him to come out. We are aching for him to come out. We are aching to own him and know him in truth. What do I do with this conundrum? I can only place it at his feet and say, Guruji, it's your problem. It's your problem. I'm a conflicted hypocrite who is aching for your Swaroopa, but I'm not ready for it. It's your problem. I can only focus on the longing of the Swaroopa, and he has to take care of the rest of it, which is that I can't handle it. Because time is very short, and there must always be a sense of urgency amongst us as devotees. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. If we are connected to a master, not just any master, if we are connected to Guruji, we have to get to a certain place by a certain time. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. The clock is ticking. Now more than ever, we must put our foot on the accelerator of our path and go for it. There must be a sense of urgency. Guruji just said the other day, 1 minute I'll be here talking to you, the next day I won't be. Time is very short. Who knows when death will come? We have crossed paths with Guruji in this moment, in this time, and the Swaroopa of Guruji must manifest to all of us. If you've come for the first time and you think what I'm saying is a little bit, maybe it's difficult to follow, and you just have a curiosity of Guruji, take that curiosity and run with it. Find out who he is. If you're a devotee who has this deep connection with Guruji, don't waste it, excavate it, pick it up, make it happen. The Swaroopa of Guruji is not a place, the door's not going to open and a red carpet is not going to be pulled out for you and say with conches blowing and drums beating. That's not how it works. We need to be beating down that door every day, every night, every moment. The urgency for devotees must always there. Guruji said the time is now. Is what Guruji talks about, the love of God and all the sainthood, all that, is that just something we listen to as a witness, or is that actually something we're going to attain? That needs to be understood. We need to look at that and say, is that going to happen for me? Otherwise, we are witnesses to Guruji. We're not actually walking with him. One time in Kenya, Guruji was there, and there was some devotees, let's say, who were not rising to where they perhaps should have been. They had not risen their level of effort and service. All Guruji said to me, he just said, he said, when the Guru is here, they are like that. But when the Guru is not here, they will regret. We should fear that regret very strongly. Prahlad says to Nrsingadev, I'm not scared of your bloody mane. I'm not scared of your gnashing teeth. I'm not scared of the intestines across your neck. I'm not scared of any of that. I'm scared that I'm an asura and will go down into the asuric nature. I am scared that I will not be able to take shelter at your lotus feet. So we need to look at the Swaroopa of Guruji as much as possible and say, I'm not scared, as much as we can, and take that leap. Then we will not have regrets. Prahlad fears being of the asuric nature. I fear having regrets. So let us, as devotees or as newcomers, whoever you are in this hall today, have no regrets. Take up whatever tools you have in your heart, present them to Guruji, and see where it goes with full force. Put your foot on the accelerator with full force and see where it goes. Then maybe, with his grace, we will know the Swaroopa of Guruji and our lives will be worthwhile. Jai Gurudev.